Let me just copy it now. Yeah,
Okay.
let me just do it now. So we're already live.
Oh,
Yep, we are.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So what up? It's a boy the Libyan Monitor platform, and welcome to another episode of Contrast Podcast. You know, today almost started like the vibe was network is electricity in Cameroon is just killing the vibe, like making us to feel like draining the
It's
energy, the whole
yeah.
energy of the podcast. But I think with the communication, the interaction, and everything, I think you gear it up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So today we'll be talking about two things, okay? I think who posted that question in the group? Is it Teaka?
I
Te-
think it's Teaka.
yeah,
Yeah.
Teaka posted something in a group. And somebody else, I think it was Jim, or I think it's Jim or something. I don't know if that's how they pronounce the
Mm-hmm.
name, or I think I should check it again so that I should not offend you by mispronouncing your name. Jim,
Mm.
he asked something about the new generation artists not paying homage or messing or collaborating with the old artists, like the older guys.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be talking about these two topics today. So if you just joined the group or you just joined the chat right now, just give us a sign and we'll give you a shout out. So,
Yeah.
Lita, what's up?
I'm good. So, like you said, like the electricity issue, I don't know why he always waits for me to have something that I have to do. Then he starts misbehaving. It's
Yeah,
just so annoying. Like it's just waiting for this time. Yeah. But I don't know.
but we
I'm
made it
good.
through.
I'm good. That's the important thing. We
Yeah, we
made it
made it
through.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anybody coming right now, if you're watching us right now, just click the link in the description below to join our WhatsApp group, okay? Contrast Podcast WhatsApp group. There you can share your ideas. If you have anything bothering you, if you have any topic. Now that I just said, if you have anything bothering you, I just recall like I guess that thing was bothering him. That's why he had to say it.
Exactly.
And
Because
I
Teaka
feel
said
like
all his friends have the same mentality.
and here I am complaining about the topic and guys still thinking about the same thing. And actually it was bothering him and it was actually a debate around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on the group, just join the WhatsApp group there. You feel free to ask anything, to share your opinion, your views on anything about the Cameroon music industry or life in general, because we are
Mm.
expanding this contrast podcast now. Okay, we talk
Yeah.
about what people believe in now, how things affect business. It's just about growth
Mm-mm.
right now. It's not just about entertainment. It's about growth
Mm-hmm.
in the business world. If he has to do entertainment, okay, fine and good. If he has to do with life, fine and good. But
Yeah.
there you can drop anything you feel conflicted about and we can give our own point of view on it.
Mm.
Yeah. So just click the link. I'll just leave the link in the chat, the live chat. So anybody coming in now will just click it to follow to join the group.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Let me just
Okay. You have to copy the live chat. The
yeah.
sorry, the group.
No, I already did. I'm just trying to post it now.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done it.
Okay.
So yeah, I think the topic we'll start with today is that mentality in Cameroon, because I believe
Mm.
most Cameroonians they have that same mentality. It's not just Teaka, because
Mm-hmm.
even when I was in Cameroon, there were guys around me who reasoned that way, you know,
Mm.
who thought that was actually the only way. That was why some of them even drop out or give up on music, because they know before you attain a certain level, you need to do what Teaka suggests those guys said you must do.
Mm.
You see?
I think we should expatiate for those who are not in the group. We should expatiate. Like what did Teaka say? What did he say?
Okay, so expatiate. Teaka said, "Is it true?" It's actually a question, not like he was.
He wasn't saying it. Yeah, it was not a statement.
Oh, wow! And
Mm-hmm.
he was even scared to even say it. He said, "Yeah."
Right.
That is it true that to blow up in the entertainment world, you need to join a cult? That's a real question, no?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a question coming from somebody in the 21st century. Almost 22nd
Mm.
century, by the way. That's a real question
Mm-hmm.
coming from somebody in this generation. So when I saw that question, I was like, oh, yeah. I know that we Cameroonians, when we go to an occasion, if there's no food or drink, if we don't complain, we are not Cameroonians. And that question, when you ask that Cameroon, I just said, okay, yeah, that's true. That's purely Cameroonian of him. Like, yeah, I'm a Cameroonian, so I can relate. Okay, I'm not saying like I'm trying to diss Cameroonian. I'm just saying that I
Mm-hmm.
can relate around the environment that
Mm-hmm.
we grew up in. We come from. Even guys around you now, if you're in Cameroon, there are some guys around you who still have that mentality. Like
Mm-hmm.
when they see stars on TV, they just know. Okay, they may say either he has joined a chord or il est devenu PD or what, or he's
Mm.
all these kind of things. They may say you're doing something illegal that permits you to achieve the kind of success you've achieved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. You know, when Teaka said that, right,
Mm.
I was not surprised because, like you
Yeah,
said, that's what I hear around me a lot, and that's what
yeah,
Teaka also said that his friends also say it too. So it's not a surprising mentality for me anymore, just because I've heard it a lot. Not that I believe it, but it's just I've heard it a lot, and it's
yeah.
just
I've heard
become
it
like,
too a
okay,
lot.
that's what people think. Yeah. So.
And that same thing was directed towards me a couple of months ago. You remember one time I was posting like advertisement for a company like traveling and things.
Mm,
Yeah, it was really
mm.
big deal. So I just made an announcement that Mulitan just signed a deal for 7 figures, and somebody started posting that thing that Mulitan don't put a hand for that place, you know. The review of Mulitan. So they just believe when they see you doing something which they believe for their environment, because I don't blame them for thinking that way. Okay,
Mm,
it's like a
mhm,
doctrine. It's like what they are used to. It's what they were taught that is possible to achieve. It's what they've seen in life. Not
mm,
like they've seen this guy join a court and is successful, but it's because they've seen that the guys they see as role models around them,
mm,
the people they can easily touch, the people they can easily relate to, the amount of success they
mm,
have has a ceiling. So they believe if somebody breaks through that ceiling, he must do something unusual, something they don't understand
mhm.
before they can achieve it.
Yeah, that's
So
so true. Yeah, like you have just said it all. It's like a lot of people feel like I cannot get it, so nobody else can get
nobody
it.
can.
So if somebody else, yeah, so if somebody else gets it, then you're like, you did the
Mm.
wrong thing. You did the
Yeah,
mystical thing. It's not normal. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
crazy.
what I'll just say about this whole theory is I understand if you think that way. It's normal,
Mm.
okay? See, I've put group that have messed up the WhatsApp group thing. By the way, the link is important, not the thing I just wrote there. But what I'll just
Mm-hmm.
say is it's not strange, okay? Witchcraft, actually, the word witchcraft actually exists. Let me explain how and why.
Mm,
Magic or magic, okay? Magic actually exists. But
mm,
magic is science that has not been proven yet.
mm,
Okay? Magic is
mm,
science that has not been proven yet. Or magic is a trick whose secrets are not yet out.
mm,
So if you see somebody successful and you're just seeing just the end result of the magic, because magic you just see the beginning and the end result. You don't see the middle part, you don't see the process towards achieving that
mm,
magic. Okay, that's how, like, when people see this kind of successful people coming from the region or from the country where they are, like the kind of people they see around, and they see this guy around there and they know the person came from the same environment they came from, like there's a piece missing in between, so they don't understand what happened in between for them to get to that space, so they attribute it to magic,
magic.
witchcraft, or cultism.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, the word magic, I don't blame anybody who talks about magic or anything, because yes, it exists, because you don't know the explanation of it. So if you cannot explain
Mm-hmm.
anything, you have the right to call it magic, and you have the right to
Mm.
be scared of it or move away from it until you understand it, then you can move closer to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Or
I
you
don't.
can make the choice to call it a miracle.
Yeah, you can make a choice to call it a miracle, but that's what,
Yeah.
and mysteries, and that's why you see people are always fascinated about mysteries,
Mm-hmm.
because the curious people always go close to mysteries. Why? scared people always run away from it and give it a negative light because it's something
Mhm.
unusual. They don't understand it. Like people attack things they don't understand. So I just understand
Yeah.
when Cameroonians have that kind of mentality or they say those kind of things. For example, like Foto became the richest man in Cameroon. Everybody said he has joined the biggest court, Illuminati. Do you know what Foto was
Mhm.
selling?
I don't know much about Photo Victor.
Black Maggie
Hmm.
back then.
Crazy. And that's the very thing with Dangote. It was all food kind of items that people
It's
really
not.
need.
If you think about it, it's smart. If you think about it, how he
Mhm.
managed to become the richest man in Cameroon, selling Maggie. Every
Mhm.
household used Maggie. Back then, there was no Maggie crevette. There
Yeah.
was no Maggie what. It was just a black Maggie, and
Mhm.
he was the only person producing it. And every
Mm.
household in Cameroon was using it. And in every pot,
Mhm.
you must put at least three. And back then, one Maggie was just 10 francs. I think it was five
Mhm.
francs. Yeah, something like that. So just imagine the
Mhm.
whole country is using your product every day. Joe, what's up?
Yeah.
If the whole
Hey, Juice
Cameroon,
in the building.
what's the population of Cameroon? The population at that time wasn't 22 million. I think it was 20 million or just 21, I think,
Mm.
by then. So
Mhm.
just imagine 21 million people buy Maggie for, let's just say, 50 francs every day. How much is that? 50 times 21 million. How much is that?
50 times 21 million.
Just say times
I know
20
the
million.
50 and the, yeah, that would be the 50 and 20
5
will get to 100.
to 100, then the next
Then
zero. So how much is that?
eh, I'm thinking, I'm looking at a
So that's a
billion.
billion
So,
already a day.
yeah.
So when guys don't
But,
understand what you say, what is he selling? Say Maggie, did see me man the buying
mhm.
of 10 franc? You don't understand the process and you
Mm.
don't understand what 1 franc can do when so many people accumulate that 1 franc.
Mhm.
Y-
Yeah.
Do you Mark Zuckerberg? He's one of the richest guys in the world. You can pay Facebook ad for $1 to run an
Mm.
ad for 24 hours. Do you know how many
Mhm.
people use Facebook? Almost a billion.
Billions. Yeah.
So, so that's why I say life. When people don't understand the maths, the process, the whole thing is when you know something that works. Okay,
Mm.
know your reach, know what it gives, know how to multiply it, know when to multiply
Mm.
it. The more you multiply it, you know the results. You see the results you get. Then from there you say, okay, but now that I have the result, if this one is possible, if I add this to this, you'll get this. That's how most business people operate and expand and own estate. That's how they make the
Mhm.
amount of money they make. So
Mm.
when people who are just on the level, they still have the mentality of growing up, going to school, make a CV and work for somebody or learn a trade, you know,
Mm.
when that's their ceiling, when the richest man around them own but something like a Kinkari or
Mhm.
taxes, or that's just what they see. And they see the level of
Mhm.
riches that a person has, and they believe that if that person can do all those things which is difficult for us and that's all he can get, it means there's nobody that can break through that ceiling.
Mm.
So they attribute anybody who goes above the richest man they know as somebody who has joined something
Mhm.
mystical. So
Yeah.
Cameroonians, hey, I beg, you guys should stop. And when you live life with that mentality, you don't grow. And
Mhm.
when you don't grow, when your kids grow up seeing you with that same mentality and you've given up in life or
They
you've given up
adopt
at that,
it.
they adopt it. I know if our dad see the world that way, they will see the world that way. If he cannot
Mhm.
break through, we can't break through. That's why some guys, when they see you have rich friends, they'll say, that my friend, or they don't put their hand for some place. Because their dad don't have
Mhm.
money, they'll just believe because those guys did something their dad wasn't willing to do,
To do, yeah, that's why they had.
that's why they are where they are, and those guys are where they are.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, those guys did something that dad wasn't willing to do.
Willing,
Is to
no,
go
their
the
dad
extra
couldn't
mile. Is to,
understand.
yeah.
They did something that dad was shallow minded to understand, or maybe when they proposed it,
Mm-hmm.
their dad was like, when I say that kind of thing for work for the Cameroon.
It will not
That's
work.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what most people say.
So many reasons why not. Yeah.
The craziest people are the people who change the world. The richest people in the world are people who everybody see like they are crazy. They introduce things that people just believe it can't work.
Mm-hmm.
When it works, it changed the whole dynamic of everything.
Mm.
So that's just my own take on that thing. When I saw that thing, I was kind of like, is this actually a question? Then on the second thought, I just told myself, but even when I was in Cameroon, I've heard that thing. Even here, there's still Cameroonians here who
Yeah.
say it, not like only in Cameroon.
Yeah. Besides,
There's still
like I remember
Africans
there was
here
a
who say it.
yeah, I remember there was a time when this Illuminati CD was everywhere. I think there was even I had a relative who was staying with us who had who
But that
bought the
city,
CD. Yeah, and it was not a CD made in Cameroon. So the mindset is not a mindset of Cameroon.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's not something Cameroonian. When I saw it, like
Sometimes they
for me,
call
I don't.
those people conspiracy theorists, and I don't blame them because they
Yeah.
put one and two together to make it make sense to you listening to it. And then you say,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, but that thing makes sense. I've seen that thing somewhere. That the thing he's trying to explain, I've seen it somewhere." And you just try to say, "Okay, since he's saying this and attributing this to this, and he's actually giving us a point which we've seen, I think he has
Mm.
a point, or maybe he has secrets or insight into what he's talking about." Listen, that thing is
Mm.
bullshit. Even when that Illuminati city came out, they said all these Hollywood stars, or even Ti, Kanye West, all these guys,
Obama.
Obama. They interviewed Ti. Ti said, "If I knew where those guys were, I will not even pass around that place. The amount of money I have is as a result of hustle and multiplying. When
Yeah.
I make money, I invest the money on multiple things. And when those multiple things
Mm.
yield revenue, I still take that revenue and multiply the investment. So the chain of revenue is more. There's no one chain of revenue. For me to accumulate this kind of money, it's not just through music. I have so many things
Mm.
that I've invested in.
Ye-
And all those things give
Yeah,
me money. But most
and
guys see
like
them
you
just as
said,
rappers, but they don't know what they are doing on the business
behind the
standpoint.
scenes work is a
That's
lot.
just it.
Hmm. Yeah, so what just came to my mind is like you see, like when we were calling the names of those people who were involved, if you don't know about somebody, it's easy for you to believe. Like for me, when they were calling all the stars and things, so since like from a younger age, I've always been curious to like know biographies of all these
Mm,
people, how they got to where they got to. So
yeah,
for me, I was like, I don't really think so because I really see like the
I've never
struggle
thought
they
that
had to
way.
go to get there. So now other people who don't know much about these stars, for
Yeah,
them it's a little bit easier to believe. I remember when my dad had a friend in the house and they were discussing about the whole Illuminati thing, and I
yeah.
was like, you see, all these stars are there. We're like, Beyonce is there. We was like, Jay-Z is there. Then the man was like, Obama is there. We're not like, no, stop. Obama is not there. I was like, I'm
I
like,
can
so
find somebody that you actually
Beyonce.
like.
I'm like, so
Ah.
Beyonce, everybody is there. Obama is not, no, Obama is there.
So when it was actually somebody that he likes, he said,
No, no, no. The
no,
person is not there.
not that one, not that one, you know." Yeah, so sometimes I don't blame anybody who thinks that way or anybody who talks about life that way, who sees the world in that light. I just know
Hmm.
it's based on your environment. It's based on what you're
Hmm.
used to, what you've been exposed to. That's why you came to
Yeah.
that conclusion. But you need to
Yeah.
aim for the stars. If you can't reach the stars, you fall among. If you can't reach for the stars, you fall on the moon. Okay? Don't say the
Yeah.
sky is your limit, because if you shoot for the sky and you miss it, you just fall on a hill, and you just believe that hill
Hmm.
is your peak. But if you hit for the
Yeah.
stars, you must pass the sky. Fall
Yeah.
among the stars. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and one thing which I want to add is the importance of unlearning, right?
Yeah.
So there's this book by a poet. The title of the book
Mhm.
is Unlearn, and basically what he's saying is the things which you have known from the past, your background, and it's time you start unlearning them in order to learn new things, especially things which are not very good for your mentality. Most of us come out from backgrounds where the mentality is not the one which will lead you to the extreme riches. Because if
Mm.
that mentality was the one that led you to the extreme riches, our background would be extremely rich, because the same riches start with your mentality.
Yeah.
So
It
most of us
starts
have
from the
to
mind.
learn. Yeah, so most of us have to start learning how to develop a different mindset. And in order for you to start learning that new mindset, you have to unlearn what you previously knew. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's a book which I've it has an audio book too, audio version of it. Listen to that book. Okay? I know. So when I talk title now for that book, YouTube will just demonetize me. But the title of the book is "Unfuck Yourself." That's just the title of the book. It means there are
Okay.
so many things that you put on yourself, so many beliefs, so many thoughts, so many doctrines that you have that you need to detach yourself from it.
Yeah.
Like you're holding yourself down. When you read that book, there are some aspects of life that you just say, "Oh man, that's true." You're holding yourself back. Yeah, you just have to move past it to progress or to prosper in life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's move to
So
our second topic.
yeah, let's just move to our second topic. So today we had to address that. We wanted to tell Cameroonians that we understand what will make you talk the way you talk. Because we are Cameroonians, but it's not too late to change your mind because the
Yep.
earlier you do it, the better for you and your generation to come. Yeah. So the next topic is the generational divide between the newer artists and the older guys. Ha. Yeah. This is something that happens in every industry, not just Cameroon. In every industry has it. You even see in the USA how younger artists call the pioneers, like the previous generation or the previous batch, they call them old heads. You know, yeah, they call them old heads and say your time is over, your time is off, and the rest. You know,
Yeah, and you were calling them dinosaurs. Yeah. So
yeah.
let's continue.
Yeah, I call them dinosaur. I'm not calling dinosaur as a sign of disrespect. I'm calling them dinosaur because they are like the pioneers.
Dinosaurs are extinct. That name dinosaur is like
No,
extinct.
no, but they are
That's
the
the highest
first.
form of disrespect.
No, they are the first creatures to roam the earth. So you have to respect them just for that fact.
Okay.
Yes, you have to respect the generation, the dinosaurs. So I call them
I
dinosaurs.
cannot still get over that name.
Disrespect.
Disrespect.
Oh my god. So yeah, so I think this shit has frozen. This live stream it has frozen.
Oh,
Has it frozen on your end? Are you previewing it?
I'm trying. It's turning around.
Yeah, you were calling them
Yeah, yeah,
dinosaurs.
Okay,
frozen.
he's back. Okay, I think he's back.
Okay.
So what I was saying is the generational divide between these newer artists and the older guys. You know, these new guys, it happens in every industry. Like the new guys tell the old guys, man, you're washed up. Man, this thing is not for you. Your time is over, and that thing, and they don't want to pay homage or reach out to the older guys. You know, and sometimes it sets the industry back.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes it does because there are some things that those legends or those guys who came before you, there are some roots, some connections in the industry that they may have, some access that they may have, but you won't be able to get it or learn it if because of the way you approach them, you know? But so far we've seen that like sometimes these older guys don't even want to reach out even to the new guys. Let's not just keep blaming the newer guys. Sometimes the older guys, when they see what the newer guys are doing, they're saying, "Nah, that's not music," or "That thing is just noise." Yeah, or
Yeah.
"We cannot relate to that thing you guys are doing." So sometimes they distance themselves. So it's on both ends of the pendulum. Let me just call it that. So it's on both
Yeah.
sides. That the problem is on both sides, not just on one side. So yeah. So how should we solve it? Who can solve that?
Who can solve that?
Yes. How should we solve it?
For
That's the
me,
problem.
like you said, the problem is on both sides. So both sides have to do their own, play their own role in solving the problem.
Because I
Right?
already
Like,
see some guys solving it, like Fish and Longe Longe. The song they did in Jaw. Longe Longe, by the way, he has been
okay.
collaborating with most of these newer artists. If you've noticed,
Uh-huh.
that's the person I believe he's doing his best to bridge the gap. Like he had to close the generational divide. He's bringing that his vibe back to these days, like blending it with the songs of these days. You know. And I see that I like it because first of all, I've been a fan of Longe Longe. I'm a fan of Longe Longe. You know, so when he's
Yeah.
reaching out to these newer guys, it makes the whole industry fun. It makes the whole thing fun. Like you tell your kids, like you can be telling your kids, okay, there was one guy who sang a song, "Are You Africa?" He said it was a Je suis le libérateur, and your kids may not know him. There may be some artists like in those days that you liked, but you be trying to explain them to your kids, and they may not know him, just because those guys have
Yeah.
decided to stick in your time. They don't want to move forward. They don't want to collaborate with the kind of guys your kids are used to, you know. To at least enlighten or know where the kind of sound these new guys use now came from, or the guys who inspired them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you mentioned Longe Longe, and I'm sure like it's either Fish. I'm thinking it might be Fish who might have contacted Longe Longe,
Yeah, if you listen to
or
the
I don't.
podcast, you know how they met. Like he explained
Yeah.
how they came through the one I did with him.
Yeah. So it's the very thing I was listening to Boytak interview. And he was talking about how he got to work with Andre Marie, and it was him contacting Andre Marie. So the thing is, like in a home, right? Like when the father or when an elder person is talking, we just have that African mentality that is the younger one which has to make that approach, is the younger one has to be humble. That's just
Yeah,
the
yeah,
African mentality, and that's what
yeah,
we take into various parts of our lives.
yep.
Yeah. So it's the very thing in the music industry. The older people are waiting for the younger people to make
To
that
reach out,
move
yeah.
and to reach out. Even Daphne is Bendeka, yes,
Bendeka,
Daphne
yeah.
Bendeka.
Daphne
Daphne
reached
also
out.
made that move.
Yeah.
Exactly. So all of the people that we are seeing collaborating with the older generation is the younger generation making that move. And so if you're an upcoming artist, you have a good sound, you have skills. Like Boyta, he collaborated with Andre Marie when he was just coming up. So it's
Yeah.
not even the precaution is not just that the prerequisite is not that you must be this big name.
Yeah.
It's just that they should love what you are
Your
offering to
art,
them. They
yeah.
should really appreciate. Yeah. So don't be afraid to reach out. You never know. They might accept, they might turn you down. Just reach out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think, where's everybody today? These guys have just decided to let us pour like our opinions today, and where did everybody go to?
I don't know. Today is Friday. Maybe they are
Oh,
getting ready for the weekend.
yeah. Ure, it's the weekend. Okay, so because to me, when we were
Mm-hmm.
coming today to talk, my main problem was just that issue of that the mentality these guys had, like these guys still have, and sometimes I think they need to be educated on how to make it, like the steps, the thing that is missing in between. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes if they don't get those things in between which are missing, they will not justify even just telling them that those things don't exist, or these guys work hard to get what they have.
Mm.
If you don't explain to them how, or the process they take, or the procedures they took to reach the level or to get to the point where they're at, they will
Mm.
still not get it. They will still just be like, okay, it can happen. How? It's impossible. Or some
Mm-hmm.
of them say, okay, yeah, it can happen, but not here in Cameroon. Here in Cameroon, it's impossible.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, sometimes that one may be a factor too.
Yeah, so true. And to you who wants to take a path which is different from what many people feel will be successful, you really for until you prove people, I would say do less of talking and more of doing.
Nah,
Don't bother to make people believe you. Just do it. Let them see it. That way
yeah.
for me. Because sometimes you just waste your energy and your time explaining and it will happen. No, no, no. Just keep
No,
quiet and just do the work.
sometimes proving people will be the wrong decision to take and the wrong choice to follow. Because if you're trying to prove them, it means you don't believe it. You want them to believe it to affirm your belief.
I'm not saying prove them. I'm saying like you have people coming to tell you that I think you should give up because this strategy, what you're
Doesn't
doing
work
is
in
not the right
Cameroon.
way to go. Yeah. So those people who come and tell you that, I'm saying instead of you wasting your time trying to say, no, if I do this, it'll work. I'll do. For me, I think you should just keep quiet and just let them talk what they have to say, and then you just do the work. It's not that you're doing the work to prove people. You're not proving anybody. You're just doing it so that they see. Yeah. So for me, that's it. And like a child can only believe they can jump as far as they can see possible. So if you succeed, it's not just for you, It's all those children out there who want to be like you, who will be able to see, like, okay, you know what? I was told in the past that this is not possible, but if she made it possible, then it can happen. Or they could start saying, for girls, for men is always called, for girls always like, oh, she slept with this person, she did this, she
Yeah.
did that, she did that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that they also say that. So
Yeah.
you just
Kevin Lopima.
yeah, exactly. You just for me it's just like I just turn a blind eye and you
Yeah.
just have to care less about how people behave. Because if you keep on caring, you will not take certain steps, you will not make certain connections because you're like, no, if I make this connection, people will say this, people will say this, and you're like, you know what?
And sometimes
They'll
when
talk
you
either
decide,
ways.
or sometimes when you decide that you want to do it, okay, or people's belief, people
Mm,
tearing you down. Sometimes when you actually decide that you want to do it and ignore people belief, when they see that you're actually
mm,
serious doing it, they start criticizing what you are doing
yes.
to destroy your morale.
Mm,
They start criticizing what you're doing to make you feel like, nah, like to feel like what you're doing is not actually worth it.
yeah.
Yeah, they start picking out the mistakes in everything you're doing. They start picking out all the errors and breaking you down. So yeah, I don't
That's it.
blame.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people I don't blame them. So in everything in life, if you want to start something, if you want to be great in life, you need to have thick skin and have a passive attitude, like to ignore some of
Mm,
the things that may try to set you back, like piss you off or make you
mm-hmm.
give up. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what
So
it is.
yeah. So I think that generational dividing, everything was said in the group. Most things were said in the
Mm-hmm.
group about how
Yeah.
some of these guys, like the older artists, need to reach out to the newer guys, because sometimes they should just think like these new guys have the limelight now. The cameras are on them. The lens are on these guys. So to revive, like, because you already have your legacy, yeah, but that legacy stays with the guys you came up with or with the people still in your generation. So to penetrate the newer guys or the newer generation, you need to link up with the newer guys. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
just like, okay, you've made it, you're successful, and that's it for you, but you criticize something coming up. No, there's always room to grow. There's always room for growth.
Mm-hmm.
So these older guys should approach these newer guys and make the whole industry like to blend the old style and the new style. That's why I like that's why I always say I like when these guys mix this Afro Jang thing or Makosa and this Afro
Mm-hmm.
pop or this. Yeah, I just like to hear artists mixing it. They mix the sound, but they don't
Yeah.
actually get the actual artists who did it on the songs. That's one funny part about it. So yeah.
Yeah, also one thing I wanted to add is, like the people who really spend the money, people who have money to spend are the older people. So if you're creating music just for the youth, many youths in Cameroon are looking for basic necessities. They don't really
Yeah,
have money to spend. But
yeah,
other people are the ones who, when you perform in a concert, they'll come and give you fagotage.
yeah.
So you call their names in a song like that, they'll glance at you very badly. So
And
like
this
if
and these
you
Makosa guys in those days, and even these Bikusi
Mhm.
guys, they figure that shit out. That's why in
Yeah,
Bikusi, every Bikusi
yeah.
song you must hear name calling in them. They just
Mm-hmm.
keep calling others names, because when they finish that song and put the song online, even if the song doesn't sell, but that person will just say, money, money, money. J'étais déjà envoyé 500
Definitely.
000. Merci pour yeah, the
Definitely.
man may own something like it can like a business, a very big business, or like this
Mm.
guarantee or photo. All these guys that own this business, when you just call their name, it's like advertising their business for them. They just call you
Mm.
and say, "Come and take this check, my sir. Come and take this check, my friend."
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes that strategy works. I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. And like a way to get to this older generation, one very good way is collaborating with the people who they already know.
They already
If you
know.
have like a
Yeah.
collaboration with I don't know, like a Petit Pay was a big name in those days.
Yeah.
Like his audience will definitely tune into you and they'll
Hey,
definitely
Fata.
want to hear what you're singing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we'll call it a day today.
Really?
Yeah, we'll call it a day.
How many minutes have we been going for?
Almost 40 minutes.
What? How does time fly? What?
Yeah,
40 minutes.
almost 40. It's 35 now. Yeah, almost 40.
I thought we were like probably in a 10. What? In
No,
fact, I
time
don't know.
flies.
Anyway. Yeah.
Time flies. But we started an hour late. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think I'll be rushing now to to complete some
Stuff.
stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
to complete stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
for the I'll just leave the link in the description below for the group. Any guys, everybody who
Mm-hmm.
will be watching this after that, you can click it, join the group, and give your opinion or any topic you have to say. You give your opinion in the group, or you give your concern in the group, because mostly what we talked
Mm-hmm.
about today was somebody's concern, and it's
Yeah.
almost every Cameroonian's concern. But some guys had to fight that urge to look past it, like us.
Mm.
We had to look past it. But there are some guys who just still just stick to it, who's just give in to it. You
Mm.
know? Yeah, and we gave two books that you should read: Unfuck Yourself and Unlearn.
Unlearn.
Yeah. Damn. They sound almost similar. They have similar meaning if you just listen to the title.
Yeah, I think they would probably say the
The
same
same
thing.
thing. Yeah, I think
Yeah, it's
so.
similar thing.
So yeah, that's all I have to say. You have anything to say for the closing?
I really don't have much to say. Yeah, but just reminding you, the group is where we get the topics
Yeah,
from.
the
So
group is where
drop
we
the
get the
topics
topics from.
there.
So your opinion
Yeah,
count.
so exactly. So
Yep.
if you want to be behind the scenes of the making of this podcast, or behind the scenes
Yeah.
of the social making, join the group.
Yeah, join the group. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think we'll be going off now. Bye.
Bye, guys.